Hello there, YouTube. It's Harry. Today, on April 13th, 2019, talking to you lovely folks on the YouTube. April 13th has always been kind of a weird day for me. I guess it started about 7 years ago when I had surgery to remove my gallbladder. That was a great time. And then from there, let's see here, I've been promoted. I've been laid off on the 13th. I think there's been plenty of other days, and I'm happy to say today was quite uneventful. I was able to pack some more, get some homework done, and in general, just hang out. So, today, one of the things I was thinking about was the actual act of transitioning, of medically transitioning, and what that essentially means for me. To go beyond that, basically, what am I hoping to get out of testosterone? And is testosterone even the correct thing for me? So one of the things about that is that, yeah, I'm not fully sure that I do want to transition. But I think part of the issue is that I think that I have to be 100% certain that I want to transition. That what if my family disowns me? Or what if my friends hate me? Or what if I don't like what I see in the mirror? Or what if I lose my job? Like all these things. And at the end of the day, those are very valid, but they're also built on lies. They're built on these things that we tell ourselves because society thinks that changing your gender is not normal, which it's not normal for 99% of the people out there, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. And so, for me, there's like a little bit inside of me, and by a little bit, enough that I don't want to admit, obviously, that is just super excited about the changes that can happen on T. I mean, lowering my voice, I think that would be awesome. So I'm going to come back to that. Muscle. I really like to lift. I've seen quite a bit of gains, if you want to call it that, in the past 6 months that I've started to lift, and just to see more would be quite awesome. I mean, that really excites me. To also then have a more chiseled jawline, that sounds great too. Yeah, there's other little things that I guess I could say. I would like my hands to look different, but I don't know if that's going to be changing anytime in the near future. Maybe just a different face shape in general would be cool. Hair in certain places, like leg hair, arm hair, even chest hair, facial hair, for sure. I've always thought I could sport a goatee pretty well, or maybe a nice little beard. All the way, not just mutton chops or anything. So, those are things that I think about, and probably too much. But let's come back to this voice. So voice dysphoria is quite interesting for me. I've actually done quite a bit of research on this and have my own actual research poster, and hopefully publishing a paper on certain things that have to do with the voice and gender. So it's kind of a little area of mine that I found to be quite interesting. So one of the reasons I find it interesting is that for me as a musician, I have to go through certain skills, like aural training, and sight singing. And when I got into music, my main instrument was a low instrument. So I kind of always thought that one of the reasons I didn't do, I'm going to say spectacular in aural skills or sight singing was that I felt like I could always hear it, but I could never sing it. I could never produce it. It was there, but me matching that pitch was just never a thing. It just felt off. And even singing wise, it's I hear it, but I can't make the sound that I hear. And I guess part of that is transposition. I don't need to get into the music side of that. But in my research, I really found that there is such a connection between your voice and emotion and your mind. And that, I think, once I was reading that, I remember reading textbooks and crying. Who cries over reading textbooks? Usually you're falling asleep, but I was crying because it just hit home. Like, that was one of the first times when I really realized that this is something that I can't ignore. You know, this would actually make me really happy, and it answers a lot of questions. And it's not just simply, oh, you can't sing. It's much deeper than that. With the voice and even like this dysphoria, I guess it's one of those things too, because like I used to never ever listen to myself or make recordings, and I mean, most people don't like the sound of their voice, but I just hated like how high it sounds. And I was so soft-spoken at times because it was like, especially if I thought that I was maybe passing to an extent, and someone would like call me sir, and then I'd be like, hi. Because I like was so scared that they were gonna be like, oh, sorry ma'am, and that's usually what happened, is that they would do that. And so I really lost my voice. And I want it back. I want to be back, and I want to be proud about it. And I think it's there. I think I can do that, and I really think that would like significantly improve my life. But part of me thinks that's just so petty. Like, it feels like a first world problem to be like, well, if I could just take some medicine so that I could lower my voice and do all this other stuff, then I would be so happy. And like, why am I not happy as is? It feels such like a first world problem. But at the end of the day, this is also the world in which I live and the society that I am exposed to. And yeah, that might not be available to someone living in a third world country, but even if you look back in the history of time, like, trans people have always been in existence. So because I have opportunities available to me now that can put me into like a medically transition that's further along than we ever used to be able to do, doesn't make or change any of my feelings or make them any less valid, which is something that I need to hear and probably rewatch many times. Many times. When it comes to the voice, I think that that's one of my bigger issues that I never probably would have said or picked out of in general as being a bigger issue, but I think it is because it, one, prevents me from passing as it is, and two, I just really feel like I have a lower voice, that I am meant to have a lower voice, and that my singing voice is meant to be lower, and that like, it's always felt disconnected. And like, when I'm singing, like, I remember I tried to have one of my friends, a lot of my friends were vocalists, and they had to bring in people to like teach them how to sing for class and stuff, and so I was one of my friends' guinea pigs. And I just remember like being very traumatized by the fact that like I had to sing, and they were like, well, sing higher, like, just, you're not trying. I'm like, I don't want to sing higher. Like, it was so scary. Like, it was very frightening for me to have to sing like above like a C, C in the staff, treble clef. And it was like, that's not that high, first of all, and like that shouldn't be that traumatic. But like, I remember like I would shut down. And even to this day, like I shut down. Like, it just doesn't work for me. And so there's got to be something to that, you know? And there is. I've done the research, obviously. If you have questions about that, you know, let me know. I'll definitely link you to some articles and stuff. And I can't wait for school to be done so that I can read more of those articles. Sounds really nerdy, I know. But right now, I'm reading about 5 to 10 articles a week on plenty of other things that are not with that. So the time is limited. All that to say, those are some of the things that I hope to see with T if I ever get on T, which I should. It's just kind of that weird in-between stage, and once I get moved to my new location, I really want to find a gender therapist and start working through that so that I can get on testosterone, if that's the path that I'm going to be following. But until then, knowing that the voice dysphoria is a big thing and working on that. And so actually by doing these videos is helping me, because I can at least hear that I can at least be somewhat articulate at times, sometimes, and my voice has actually really changed. Even in the past like 5 years, it's actually gotten lower probably. And that was before I even realized I was trans. So there's something to that. There really is something to that. Anyway, let me know what you think about voice. If you have questions, if you want to drop me a line, let me know if you have any similar thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. So have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. See ya!